Hey everybody, this is Black Maggie, Margaret Ellen, same thing. I was contacted this past week by a good friend of mine from high school, and it reminded me of a story that I should share with you all for my story of my life. So, this girl, let's call her Tina, okay? She can sing her face off, alright? Like, she has, like, when I first met her, me and my mom moved from Cincinnati to the outskirts of Atlanta. When I first met her, you know, that was kind of the buzz that I heard. Then when I heard her sing, it was just like, oh my God. So when she asked me to be part of like the backup dancers for you know, a thing that she was gonna do, I'm like, oh, absolutely, I'm trying to be involved in that. You know, I really wanted to be involved in that whole situation. So I guess that would help kind of set the scene of why I even wanted to go to this place in the first place, because I'm something that I really wanted to be involved in. So because I had lived in the city for so long, I was used to walking everywhere. I could walk, I could take the bus, but there was no bus out there. So I was just like, okay, well, I'll walk. I didn't have a car, so I had to kind of orchestrate going with my mom where she was gonna go, and then figuring out how I was gonna get to the other places that I wanted to be after. So I had it mapped out in my mind. I thought I knew where we were going. So the office that my mom was on her way to was up this same highway. Like up there, they have 29 and 78 and 124 are like the main highways. So this office was off of 29. So my friend's house is also off of 29, right? So I'm like, it's gotta be down the street. You go down, it's a little gas station, you turn right, you go down, and it's there. I thought I knew where I was going. So I tell my mom, I got it, keep your phone on just in case, but I'm gonna go ahead and walk because it's looking like it's gonna take you a little bit longer here, and you know, I'll let you know when I make it there. Fine. So the way that stuff is made out there, the roads are kind of built up, and the office parks and things like that are kind of off the side of the road. There's a lot of ditches and stuff like that because there's no sidewalks. So I'll climb up the little hill, get onto the road, and I'm walking in the grass. So everything is fine. I walk, I cross the street. There's a house with a fence around it. I hear a dog barking. I look, the fence is closed. Okay, so I don't panic, I don't run, because again, I'm from the city. I'm used to having to walk, and sometimes there's dogs. So I didn't think anything of it. I walk, I make it 2 corners down. Now, a country mile is a term that people use. And I feel like that doesn't do it justice when you're outside and it's like 88 degrees, Atlanta heat, and nothing around you, no resources around you. This is not the type of place where you're just gonna pop it with like a corner store or what we call here a pony keg or anything like that. You're just out there. So I make it 1 corner, I go another long stretch. It's like a field of just really tall grass, undeveloped land. I make it to another corner, and the place that I think there's supposed to be a gas station, there is not a gas station. It looks like it used to be something, but I know it's not the street that I'm trying to get to. So I try to text my friend, and her reception at her house ain't that great. I try and call my mom. She's still busy. So she's like, well, just come back and I'll drive you there because it looks like you're lost. Okay. Defeated and all in the heat. I'm like, fine, you know, I really want to get to this practice. So let me hurry up and turn around, because I'm not getting any communication back saying, you know, the street is here and, you know, you're only so far away. And this is back in the days when it was like MapQuest. It was before GPS and all of that. So it wasn't like I had resources to just check my phone and say, oh, it's this far of a walk. It was like, you know, you could get the general directions and that's as good as it got. So I'm mulling over whether or not I'm going to wait on this text message to come back or if I'm going to go back to the car. It's hot. The decision makes the most sense is to go back to the car, to my mom. So I turn around. So I'm walking, I make it back those same 2 corners. I make it back to that house that had the dog that was barking. And now I notice that the gate is open. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, of course they have him tied up or something like that. Because if you start running, then there's going to chase you. So, like, just don't run. Keep your stuff together. I know you didn't see what kind of dog it was when you first went by. But just, you know, keep your stuff together. So I'm walking. I hear the dog bark. I made a decision in my heart that I wasn't going to run until I looked over and it was a Doberman Pinscher on full tilt. And I was just like, I gotta get out of here. Like, my feet took over the whole rest of my body. And it was just like, run. And then next thing I know, I'm booking. There's a little street, like right after that house, there's a little street, and then it's back to the office park. I'm going. I see a car coming up that street. My feet are like, girl, I don't even care. You gonna keep running. And so I barely make it past the car. Almost ran into it. Did not care. Still running. Feet almost looking like wheels. I get over to the side where all I have to do is go down the hill and go into the place, and I'm home free. Because he's not going to catch me. Because I'm fresh off of running track. Like, you know what I mean? A couple of years before, he was not going to catch me. I had decided in my heart. But I kept hearing something behind me. Not barking, but something that sounded like feet. So I'm going. I make it to the hill, and then Jesus catches me. And I'm in the air. And I'm airborne. And I'm like, my feet won't stop moving. They're on autopilot at this point. Like, there's no stopping. There's no like, oh no, do something else in the air. I still hear something behind me, but I'm airborne now, and I'm going over the side of this hill, and there's a guy cutting grass in this little area. So I'm like, this is about to be bad, and somebody's gonna see it. I land on my chest, feet hit the back of my head. At this point, I'm ready for this dog to make a meal of me. I'm ready for, you know, him to just be like, oh, you thought you were going to get away, but guess what, girl? I'm on you. And there's silence. Complete and utter deafening silence. And as the whir of the lawnmower in the distance starts to come back to me, I recognize that the sound that I was hearing behind me was my own feet. I was running so hard that I was like kicking the back of my legs as I ran. So I'm hearing double feet as I'm running. I have no wind. My ribs, in my heart and mind, I'm like, I broke my ribs. There's no way. I'm not. You know what I mean? I am in shambles. I am just like, you know, somebody come get me. Nobody came and got me. I uncurl my legs. I make my way into my mom's interview. Whatever it was, an interview. Whatever she was doing at this office. I make it in there. And she's like, what happened to you? Oh, it was a dog. What? Yeah, and I fell, like, you know, I just need to get cleaned up. There's grass all over me. I'm like a mess. She gives me some stuff to go into the bathroom. I get cleaned up, and I'm like, okay. So you're going to drop me off at practice? Like, I didn't even care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had gone through all of that. I was in so much pain, but I was like, I need to learn these steps so that I can be in a talent show, so that we can go ahead and, you know, do our thing. And it's going to be great. And I don't want to say that I'm going to do something and then let my friend down. So I showed up there, and I don't even know if I told her what happened. I was just like, you know, I was late, got lost, left it at that until after the practice. Because I was so behind. There were girls there from the dance team, and they had already gone through all of the steps. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to learn it. It was intense, but I ain't get bit. So, I don't know. I thought about that. It's one of those stories, you know how you'll get a call from a friend when you always have a time that you remember you know, that's associated with them. And that's one of the things I remember. I was so determined that I was going to be in that talent show and we were going to rock the house because she could sing her face off, that I didn't even care that I had just broke my ribs running from the dog that stopped chasing me. So, anyway. Hopefully that gave you some reason to smile. I don't mind you laughing at my expense. I laugh at my expense. Until next time, I'm Black Maggie. See you next time.